Where do you think the next 10 years are going?
I think it's going to be this type of model where you're going to have multiple individuals with multiple different places and spaces in one housing location. And it's going to be short term. It's not going to be permanent, ongoing, 1 year, 2 years where they'll be able to just stay in that residence.
What's cracking YouTube? I'm with Cleadus. This guy is phenomenal. He is somebody who is, I'd say, a huge inspiration. Went from federal prison to $1 million flipper. What the bro? Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Last time I think we were in Fresno.
Yeah, my wife drove you and Pace around all over Fresno,
How
showing
fun.
you flips with majority. They were all our flips at the time.
Wow.
With Michael Zuber had set it up.
I love it.
Yeah,
So walk me through what's been going on with you in your world.
Well, me and my wife was with WestCare I was with them for 14 years, and I was the vice president of operations when I left 2 years ago. My wife was a program manager in the homeless department, working with the homeless population. We left them after 10 years of real estate investing to working for ourselves now. So, we've done over 150 flips in the Central Valley, and now we're doing multi-million-dollar flips in Santa Barbara as well. So we're extremely excited because we got 2 multi-million-dollar flips going in Santa Barbara. So that's it's new to us, but it's
You make what, $500,000 on a single flip?
At least.
At least.
Yeah. The numbers and the spreads, are phenomenal. Obviously, no risk, no reward.
Of course.
But
you got to have big cojones.
Yeah, well, that, and you got to have design quality, and you got to have the skill set and the ability to do that.
I
With
agree.
Aaron's always been the leader of design and layouts and killing it in Fresno with all of our flips. So kind of teed it up for us to do it after 12 years of investing. So
insane, incredible.
Yeah, well,
so
thank
you
you.
traveled down here to talk to us a little bit about what we've been going on in co-living. We were introduced from a good friend of mine, Stratton Brown.
Yeah.
You guys don't know Stratton, make sure you go follow him on Instagram. It's Strat Daddy. Pretty interesting name for a grown man doing real estate, Stratton. Anyhow, you are looking at what we've been doing in the co-living model. And I think in WestCare, you had actually been contracting with different hosts and providers of housing for a while. What do you think is the future of this model?
Well, I think co-living is going to be a big part of models because, when you think about affordability and individuals being able to provide a place, not just individuals off the street that are independent, but also just agencies, nonprofits, and service providers in areas where individuals are coming out of incarceration, re-entering into society, coming off the streets, homeless, or needing support and services provided while providing a temporary housing situation is going to be huge. I don't know if you've heard the recent chatter with Trump in office, as they're talking about eliminating the permanent supportive housing component, which has been
Section 8. Essentially.
Well, it's bigger than that. There's a lot of permanent supportive housing contracts where individuals are placed in the units and been permanently paying their rent, and they get ongoing care and services from staff who are case managing them to help them.
And that's government supported right now.
Yeah, it's HUD.
And it's HUD.
Yeah.
And is HUD looking at changing that, or?
Well, it's getting the pressure from the president.
Okay,
So,
and what
yeah.
would be the pivot?
I think that the pivot he's talking about is looking at more short-term stays with more accountability with mental health and substance abuse. Right now, currently and historically, it's been a housing first model to where you house individuals and then you wrap services around them. And if you could house them and they still have a substance abuse problem, actively using, or mental health undiagnosed, untreated, and then the idea was, which I'm not saying one model's better than the other, but I'm just saying that, and then you wrap the service around and try to get them to a healthy, normal place by getting them off the street. The idea is that everybody deserves to have somewhere to sleep and call home, right? So people are divided when you talk about what's better and this and that. I think that, as long as people are trying to help other people, I don't think that there's a wrong way, or is there a better way. I just think that you have to be very diverse in the way that you try to do these things to try to see how you can get the best results.
Yeah, and I think, there's an argument, right, that government is important to be involved in things of this nature, but also the onus is on the individual to try to lift themselves up and to do something, right? And so, where's that fine line of, we're going to support you, but we need you to support yourself? And I think shorter term makes a little bit of sense in that regard
because it doesn't come a long term.
Exactly. When I know that
they don't get independency.
Exactly. If I know that you're going to take care of this for the next 5 years, what incentivizes me to do something this year?
Right.
What incentivizes me to do something for next year? So shortening the term of that is a great way to force people into taking action, into accountability and control of their own life, right? And I think that's important.
If they have the ability to do it.
If they have the ability to do it.
Some people will obviously through that process determine that they need a higher level of care, and that where they're going to need ongoing assistance and support because they're not going to be independent on their own probably for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they really need that additional level of care, you know.
Understood.
A lot of the mental hospitals and things, they've kind of over the years kind of shut a lot of those down and kind of got away from incarcerating people for their consequences and was trying to, you know, push more into the wrap services and house people and, you know, try to get the populations down in the overpopulated prisons. So that kind of, in California, it took an AB 109 realignment that they took all the money out of the incarcerating them and started putting those dollars into more housing and homeless and service-based opportunities to help those individuals, you know, so.
Got it. So there's a lot of government money, there's a lot of assistance, and there's a lot of opportunity in this model right now. If somebody was thinking about becoming a real estate investor, wanting to be able to not get super involved in like multiple units and having dozens and dozens of houses to create a small amount of cash flow, we just walked through this property over here and determined that one home can actually generate $12,000 a month in income.
Potentially, yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
That is wild to me.
Right.
Right? So if you were to do that as a real estate investor and see the writing on the wall, where do you think the next 10 years are going?
I think it's going to be this type of model, to be honest with you, where you're going to have multiple individuals with multiple different places and spaces in one housing location. I think that it's going to be short term. It's not going to be permanent, ongoing, you know, 1 year, 2 years where they'll be able to just stay in that residence. I think they're going to want to move them along the continuum of care. That's just my personal belief.
Sure.
Because what I hear from, you know, what's going on with the new president and the things that are happening, by the time they undo what they've been doing and make these changes, I honestly think for the next 5 years, you're going to look at a more short-term opportunity of shorter funding streams to be able to help that individual to move them on in the right direction. So
I love it.
if that's up, down, sideways, whatever it may be. I think the biggest thing that real estate investors can do is figure out how they could be a part of the solution to help the needs of the individuals that are in their communities where they're doing investing, like in the city, the counties, and the things where they're wanting to do work. Start meeting with your nonprofits, start meeting with your funding sources to where the money's being trickled down from the feds to the county, to the state, to the county, to the cities, and see where their needs are and trying to bring the real estate to those needs, so we could collaborate and make a good situation for everybody.
You guys heard it here. Now, you all pay taxes. Ain't no money like government money because it's yours. If you want some of your tax money back, the best way to do it is to get involved in co-living and get some of those funding sources into your pockets. Thank you so much, Cleadus,
welcome,
for
brother.
being with me
You're
here
welcome.
today in Phoenix, Arizona. We are excited to be working with you in a closer degree, excited for the future of what we have here in co-living, and excited to be an impact in our communities. If you guys enjoyed this, like this video, subscribe to the channel, tell Cleadus he's handsome, and we'll see you guys in the next one.